As we navigate the complexities of life, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of our daily routines. We're often reminded that success is measured by how much wealth or status we accumulate. But what if there's more to living a fulfilling life than just accumulating material possessions? The Bible teaches us that true wisdom can be found in unexpected places, particularly in the words of Jesus Christ, who famously said, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." This phrase is more than just a poetic expression. It's a promise that those who approach life with humility and kindness will ultimately find their place of rest. In this article, we'll explore what it means to be meek, how this virtue can bring us closer to God, and why the meek shall indeed inherit the earth, according to Scripture. Matthew 5. Biblical context and key passages. The phrase, "the meek shall inherit the earth," originates from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5:5, where he says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." This passage is part of a larger collection of teachings known as the Beatitudes, which offer a unique perspective on what it means to live a life pleasing to God. In Isaiah 41:10, we find another significant reference to this theme. The prophet writes, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be frightened, for I am your God." This verse underscores the idea that when we approach life with humility and trust in God's presence, we have nothing to fear. The concept of meekness is also explored in Psalm 37:11, which states, "But the meek shall inherit the land and delight themselves in abundant peace." This promise suggests that those who live lives of humility will ultimately find rest and satisfaction in a peaceful world. The key to understanding this phrase lies in recognizing that meek does not mean weak or powerless, but rather gentle and humble before God. Meaning in key themes, the concept of being meek is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness or powerlessness. However, in the context of Scripture, meekness refers to a gentle and humble approach to life. This virtue is closely tied to faith and trust in God's presence, as seen in Isaiah 41:10, where we are encouraged not to fear because God is with us. Meekness also involves recognizing our place within the larger story of creation and submitting ourselves to God's sovereignty. As Psalm 37:11 notes, this humility will ultimately lead to inheriting a peaceful world. In contrast, those who approach life with aggression or competition may find themselves at odds with others and struggling to find rest in the midst of chaos. The meek shall inherit the earth because they are better equipped to navigate life's complexities with empathy and kindness. By cultivating a sense of humility and gentleness, we can begin to see the world through God's eyes and live lives that reflect His character. This is not to say that the path of meekness will always be easy or without challenge. Rather, it is a choice that requires discipline and self-awareness, but one that ultimately leads to greater peace and fulfillment. As Jesus teaches in Matthew 5:3-4, those who are poor in spirit, mournful, gentle, hungry for righteousness, merciful, pure in heart, peacemakers, or persecuted will inherit the earth. Meekness is not just one characteristic among many. It is a central aspect of what it means to follow Jesus. Practical application today, so how can we apply this wisdom in our own lives? One practical step is to practice self-reflection and examine areas where we may be struggling with pride or aggression. Ask yourself, am I willing to listen to others, even if they disagree with me? Am I able to admit when I'm wrong and apologize for my mistakes? By being more mindful of our words and actions, we can begin to cultivate a sense of humility and gentleness that will ultimately bring us closer to God and help us navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Gentle response to conflict is often the best way to diffuse tension and find resolution. Conclusion. In conclusion, the phrase, "The meek shall inherit the earth," offers a profound promise that those who approach life with humility and kindness will ultimately find their place of rest. By cultivating a sense of meekness, we can begin to see the world through God's eyes and live lives that reflect His character. It's not about being weak or powerless. Rather, it's about being gentle and humble before God. As we navigate life's complexities, let us choose to walk in the footsteps of Jesus, embracing the virtues of meekness, humility, and kindness. May our hearts be filled with the hope that comes from trusting in a God who is always present and guiding us on our journey. May we find peace and fulfillment as we live out the Beatitudes, which offer a unique perspective on what it means to live a life pleasing to God.